Counter-Strike 2 was released the other day, and honestly the reviews have been mixed. There's a big divide between the people who enjoy the game and the people who don't. Now, I'm going to try and be as unbiased as possible, but I do have to say that the launch of Counter-Strike 2 was really underwhelming and felt rushed in a way. We're missing so many features and game modes, and there's not even an official workshop at the time of recording this video. Many of this is obviously due to change, but I wonder why they didn't just make us wait until all the content was finished. We'd probably have a lot more fun, even though we would be waiting a longer time. This user on Reddit made a nice little list of just some of the things that are missing from Counter-Strike 2, and the one that stands out to me is Mac support. How on earth did Valve forget this? Or maybe they didn't even forget it and just didn't deem it important, that there's a whole platform of people that won't be able to actually play the game. And there's not even much Linux support either. There's a great clip of smoke grenades just not working on the Steam Deck, giving them the ultimate advantage. But I have to say, as far as game launches go, this isn't a good one. I'm sad to see that even though it's out of beta, it feels no different. The wait times are just as long, competitive doesn't feel as good as it should, and while the graphics are nice, that novelty wears off extremely quickly and you're just left with a game that is very, very lacking in content. Now in my previous video I did mention how I like Counter-Strike 2 and I still stand by that. I think it's a great direction for the game to go in, but I think the way it was done was just not great. They could have delayed the release by a long time and just kept updating the beta with more content, but somehow they deemed it okay to release and released it in the condition that it's in. Now I was under the impression that the beta version we had was a much older version by many months, and that Valve had a secret updated version that was fully complete. And in normal Valve fashion they would take us by storm and be like, hey look, we've got the full game, haha, you thought it wasn't going to be what it was, but it wasn't the case at all, and I personally can't even tell the difference between the beta and the fully released version, other than maybe a few UI changes. I still get the no Steam logon bug and I have to restart Steam every time, and there's no new maps or game modes. I mean, we have competitive now, but it's just Premier, but you can choose the map. I feel like Valve mistreating the workshop has also ruined a big part of what Counter-Strike is all about. Counter-Strike has always been about those custom maps you play with friends, or the community servers with weird maps and game modes, but this is all but gone from Counter-Strike 2. The community map browser is something else entirely. This menu now exists outside of the game, and instead works through the Steam client. It's not as hidden as it was in CSGO, you click this little button here and it takes you to the browser, but it is a bit more annoying. I haven't tried any community servers since there are none with low enough ping for me to justify joining, but there does seem to be a fair amount of maps that are custom. I haven't myself encountered any cheaters, but I've heard that this is an extremely common issue that many people are running into. It seems that VAC decides to work sometimes, and then sometimes it doesn't work. Dangerzone. Now I didn't play much this game mode, but the potential in Source 2 was there, but alas, like all of the other content, CS2 did not have this upon release, and I feel like this is a big missed opportunity. The whole plan with CS2 doesn't even make much sense. They release a whole new game, delete CSGO, but don't give it the correct amount of content and leave it extremely buggy. It really just doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, it feels like we're still playing the beta, and it really makes it frustrating to play when a lot of deaths and match losses aren't your fault. I was perfectly fine with new features like subtick and having to learn new map layouts, but things like bugs and glitches shouldn't be adding on top of this to make it even more frustrating. We're also missing the ability to place the gun in your offhand, which wasn't a feature I personally used, but reading online it seems a lot of people really like this feature, and it's something they're missing from the game a lot. There's also a bug where two maps can load on top of each other, and again, this has never happened to me, but here's a screenshot of what it looks like. I'm not even sure how a bug like this could even pass Valve's testing. So let's hope Valve can fix the majority of this and help maybe revive the reputation of the game a little bit, because as it stands now, the game is very much hated by a lot of people, and many people are upset that CSGO has been harder to play. I mentioned in my last video that CSGO has been deleted. According to comments, you can play the last version of the game by going into the beta part of the Steam page and downloading the demo viewer. I'm not sure if the community servers are up and running, but if you still want to play CSGO, this may be your only option. Or if you really want to play CSGO, there's always the Xbox 360 version. I know I've slated CS2 a lot in this video, and I want you to understand I don't hate the game. I have expressed a love for the game, however there are issues with it. I think Counter-Strike 2 is an amazing direction for the game, and the game has needed to be modernised for years. The new engine is really going to push the limits of what mappers can do and what players can achieve, but Valve really needs to sort out these issues, because if they do this, the game will be perfect. But until then, it's going to stay the buggy piece of shit that it is.